in the arena mode. There's 10 points up for placement, and then each elimination is going to be a point. Lamar looking for one of those right now.
Going out in the action feed.
Yeah. And in terms of those placement points, actually, Lamar's going to continue down onto this player right now, looking for it. Is he going to find it? No, not just yet. Still fighting for it. We'll get back to the format in a second there. Another one of those. That's 1 point right there. And in terms of the placement, 10 points up for grabs. Top 25 is going to give you 3. Top 15 is going to give you 2. Top 5 is going to give you another 2. And then the victory out, another 3. So that's what these players are fighting for. That's what they're trying to get.
Got a lot of big names in this lobby. Lyrison, Twifo, Destroy, Cloak, Lamar. Amazing players who have already made a name for themselves and now looking to get in on that world's prize pool.
That world's prize pool is so solid, but this weekend, right now, they're fighting for $1 million over all 6 regions. Lamar looking to see whether he's going to be able to get himself a little chunk of that prize for sure. At this point,
I cannot believe the strength of these SMGs. These players really utilizing them perfectly. Lamar coming past Lenane in that 1x1 Cloak right below. Connor Rio is there as well on a little bit of a basement 1x1.
Yeah.
And Lamar needs to find a chance to take this big pot. He's got no more resources though.
I'm impressed by how far he's made it with just a little materials, but finally he's going to go down. Rogue Shark takes the opportunity there. Lyrison. We also saw there Symphony in this game. Twifo, Predator, oh my goodness, Hydra as well. Everybody's showing up to the Fortnite World Cup qualifiers here.
I love it. Old names, new names, and we were talking about this earlier. If you are just joining us and you are making a name for yourself in this community, you see us casting your games, reach out to us on Twitter @BallaTW, @KittyPlays. Tell us about your story or your friend's story. We want to hear it. We want to talk about it. We want to share the community with each other. Amazing players coming out of this event right now.
Yeah, and here's Gage on the low ground. He's in a little bit of a pickle, but he's got that blue tactical shotgun right here. He's trying to find it. Yes. He's going to get one. He has to get another. No, he's going to go down. Gage, unfortunately, is going to fall to the zone.
The wave.
And Kydra as well, the player he was going for. Look how many players just went down. Destroy. You got to make it out. Please.
Come
you got
on,
to get out.
No.
That's a wrap for him. And AJ and Build Over fighting on the edge of the zone again as well. Another one of these fights. AJ finally going to go down. He was so low HP. It's going to be difficult to make it out. He's got to have to maybe go through Build Over, but no. Regardless, that's a wrap for him.
Yeah, this is one of those zones we were talking about yesterday where you're having to push up these mountains. It is so difficult for these players to be able to strategize. There's a lot of chaos going on. You can get blocked in really easily. Lenane going down right there. We got Twifo and Cease right next to each other, trading walls in the low ground, Build Over, trying to get shots on the guys in the high ground.
Yeah, trying to get shots on them, trying to reset there. Nice play. Ginger Blau goes down, unfortunately for him, but Build Over starting to rack up the eliminations here. 19 left, and it's starting to get close to that top one that we're talking about. The placement point so important. He takes out Connor Rio as well. Oh, and who's this? He's going to go ahead with the compact SMG, try to pressure, continuing on. Where is he going to go? Is he going to get it? No, not just yet.
Okay.
There it is. Mr. Dong, are you serious, Build Over? I thought you were going to get another one, but no, Archie's going to take him out, and now it's top 13. So 2 of those thresholds have already passed. And it's going down to the wire. 2 zones left. This zone closes in 2 seconds.
Top 13 in the 7th zone right now. So many players eliminated because of this more difficult zone coming up and over the map in this mountain. Cloak trying to take that high ground with his baller. Twifo manages to secure it. Cease shooting up with his RPG. Cloak is bouncing so close to him though. He's got to be careful. He can jump out of that baller at any time and take shots on him, but he doesn't seem to mind. He's looking for this elimination, that edit out of the zone, trying to get that. Gets a siphon.
Nice. Siphon in zone. That's going to be perfect, but he's got to make his way up to the hill right now. Only 3 builds remaining. I don't think that's going to be enough. Let's see. One more. Is he going to get it? Just barely. No. Yes. Yes, he does make it over the hill. That's perfect there, and he's immediately going to start chopping trees because there's just ballers down here right now as it's Jack. He's going to take minis in the open. Are you kidding me, Cease?
These ballers are not doing anything, and he knows it. They feel so safe and secure in there, so he's just going to play around them in the meantime. Has the 2 rockets, opting to save them, though, as long as he can. Has enough for 2 more walls after farming that tree.
Yeah, he wants to make sure that his presence is not known right now. He's going to reload that RPG, take 1 shot at high ground. It's not going to knock him down, and now he's in trouble because there's a bunch of players down on low ground who want to make sure they go through. But here, farming more materials, this could be the difference. Can he find it? One player in
That
front of him.
first pump.
Just get the damage in.
Still farming. This is I love this. I don't love this for Cease. It's a hard situation to be in, but
unfortunately there he actually manages to drop the high ground on top of him, and now it's Dwight over his Cloak again. Dwight has been fighting for this high. It's so important for him. Cloak is actually going to take it, so it could be an opportunity for Cloak to make a name here.
oh, he takes ultimate high ground. Dwight on the low ground with Symphony. With Yuli takes out Symphony while he's healing. Cloak looking to drop down, going for that heal. He's popping the banishes.
Dwight getting that one right there, and it's now on to
Yurley.
Yurley on the low ground. Cloak is going to go ahead and relive TwitchCon here on high ground. So many opportunities right now. Dwight versus Cloak. Big name versus big name. We'll see whether or not Dwight is going to be able to pull it out. He's going to start sticking the high ground. That's perfect opportunity for him, but he's staying in the zone. Cloak is going to be forced out, and he doesn't know where Dwight is right now. Dwight takes him down lower. It's going to be on to Dwight right now. Defense starts sticking. No! Cloak with the win. Unbelievable play from him.
Oh,
absolutely.
My God.
Doing what we know from him best. Just slaying out the lobby there in the end game.
So close. 15 HP on Cloak before that. That was one bandage that he applied earlier. Got him that win. Amazing job by Cloak. Amazing to see him do so well at TwitchCon. Being able to translate that into this. And we are going to head over to Monster and Sundown. Guys, these games.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a crazy end game with seeing so many Titans, and it's such a tight radius. It's always fun to watch big names go toe-to-toe. That's what this format is all about. This is the World Cup qualifiers here. And with that, we got Sundown who's going to introduce some of this catch-up here on the NA East.
Thank you so much, Monster. So we're going to take a look at some of these endgame rotations that enable the players. Again, my themes have largely been on Victory Royales lately because how these players get it are so clutch. So on this wide, notice how Angelo is ramping the entire time. That's something you can see from this perspective. He's keeping himself covered, making sure he owns the area around him, and tracking where these players are, forcing T-Chad down to pick up his 7th Elim, but he's not done yet as he's able to now work his way down the tarps. We talked about that. One of the advantages of high ground is picking when you opt to go down. So this is how he was actually able to clean up this match. Jumped out into the storm, got the player in the front as he pushes through the door, hits an absurd flick to get that one, and the second player coming out was Cease, taking it home for the Victory Royale. Great job from Angelo there, but also TSM, I call him Commandant is his name. He's known as Commandment, but putting in work on the rotations, catching Boyle and Eva with that peak shot. Now, looking at the two wides, there was a little bit confusion on what actually happened here. Commandant or Commandment is able to put a ton of pressure here down onto Tickers, forcing him back off. Notice how he's on 79, but Commandant sneaks a great edit in for 77, forcing him to 2 HP, trying to get him to create distance, but he doesn't get enough space to get back out into the storm and back in. Once that ticks over, he gets the elimination credit and the victory out. That's going to launch him up the leaderboards, but we're not done yet. So the queue times are over. All the players are only allowed to queue up for 10 matches total or during the 3-hour window. But with that being said, Monster, we have to wait until all of the matches do wrap up because you can queue until the last minute.
Yeah, exactly. You want to wait until the final results are in. That way we can get a nice clean shot at that. But with that, thank you so very much for catching us up on some of those mid-game and end-game highlights there. We're going to go ahead and pitch it on over to a break here. So stick around. We'll come back very shortly with more Fortnite action and then the final stand-ins.
and welcome back. We are in our week 1 solo games right now for the qualifiers for World Cup. Amazing job so far by all the regions, and we are just finishing up now in US East. We got a couple more games for you coming out. I hope the hype is high. These things have been insane. You guys, are you excited and ready and prepared to cast these next games?
I'm beyond excited. Couldn't be more pumped. Like I said, we've already seen players qualify through.
Yep.
We've gotten a certain group in. We have 6 more coming out of US East. Now, as we talked about right before the break, the queue times are done. So we're just going to let the last couple matches wrap on up. We'll see who in the last matches can push into it. But I want to get right into it, Golden Boy.
I do as well. Imagine at that moment, though, I would have said I don't. That would have been really funny and mildly awkward. But we are into the action, Sundown. And our elimination leader for this game will be Jaden Schatz at 4 elims currently. And then we have Landjock Blue Tea. Okay, we got some names in here. And as we had mentioned before, folks, if you're just joining us, this is the conclusion of NA East. Coming up after a break will be NA West. We're going to have some good games there. 2 players will qualify from that part of the region. NA East, 6 players qualify from this area here. For now, though, we're going to be checking out Landjock, and that player had the baller to be able to rotate out of there and get out. I know Landjock was hoping that that was a player ambitiously running out of their safe area, and he could have made them pay for that one. 3 eliminations so far for Complexity's Landjock.
Yep, 3 elims so far indeed, but as Golden Boy was saying, 6 qualification spots up for grab on US East, as well as their portion of the $1 million prize pool. Don't forget, 10 weeks of open online qualifiers, all for your chance at a little bit of the 10 million. But Landjock trading back out right away, getting in a pretty tight wall fight here as we're trying to explain a little bit of what these guys are fighting for. As he pushes into the box, able to get the edit through, but then just disengages now.
Dude, that whole fight was incredible. Jaden Schatz, unfortunately, he's going to take the brunt end of that one. Can Landjock survive? He manages to live through that one. Giraffe was not enough for Landjock. That whole fight was incredible because the entire time he knew that he had to overtake the wall on the left side. He had to take that wall. If he didn't, then his opposition would have been able to try and edit into that and get the elimination onto Landjock. But now it seems like Landjock's having to deal with the entire server here, Sundown.
Because he is on the backside of it, but also additionally inside of that fight, he did such a great job when he didn't own that wall to fight around the cone, stay crouched, not give anybody an option to peek, and a great shot coming out from Twiz, but he thought he was going to commit to that elim, instead just getting the body shot with the heavy in it not being enough to tick that player over.
That's a rough one, but I think Twiz is happy with the fact that for right now, sailing in the sky with no worries. Look at the players: Enzo, Blind, Bizzle, Dubs, that one guy, that is his name, Hogman, Colin Frags, Landjock, Joseph, Hysteria, Av from Merkin. There are so many great players here. My boy Flossin, let's go. So happy for him.
Also
But yes,
Goosh and Frat recently being signed by FlyQuest there, and we have 26 players remaining. If you check that top
who's who in
right-hand
Fortnite.
corner, exactly. So many great players in this lobby, all of them challenging. They want one of those 6 qualifying spots up for grabs on US East. We've already qualified 11 players. We'll have 2 more after this on NA West as Twiz picks up Diet Clarkson to get inside top 25.
and this is where Twiz, I'm sure, would have liked to have been able to pick up that elimination earlier on, but he's going to hold him into the 1x1, and that health will siphon out and give him enough to be able to get out of there. But this whole fight has been dicey for Twiz, but somehow, some way, Twiz manages to stay in this game.
He found enough space, and he also needs to make sure he's able to get that wall. Instead, the player rips them both up into the sky. They say, hey, you're rotating with me. As we fall inside the top 20, still have about, I think that's 6 ballers rotating around there. Enzo, 10-bit, Dubs, check-ins using it. Bizzle actually dropping that one guy by hopping out of his and deciding to get aggro, so he's starting to join the fray. Hogman now going for that high ground is where he generally likes to operate, instead opting for the tarp underneath. And a great pickup onto Ro at DW, somebody who we have highlighted before, a very much so kind of an early game player who's generally known more for that, so nice to see him here in the end game as we get to the next placement threshold. 15 is what we're looking for, 16 players in the lobby.
Still a lot of great players left in the server. Hogman on the high ground position. There's Bizzle, who's playing his back against the storm. Twiz, who picked up nasty eliminations earlier on, still going to be in this one. Punished a player inside of the baller. Bizzle is going to remove him. Flossin in the action feed was taken out by Goosh. Two good players going toe-to-toe against one another. That's what you got to expect at this point in time in the qualifications for the Fortnite World Cup final in New York City. It's all on the line. You're going to have the talent in here, the names, everyone that you would expect to see in a top-tier competitive Fortnite environment. They're here and they're bringing their A game, folks. But we also have some new faces as well, and that's always a plus. But right here, though, this is a stacked lobby.
Stacked indeed. Honestly, might be an understatement, as now we're inside the top 15, so everyone getting at least the 5 placement points, plus whatever eliminations they can rack up. Bizzle looking for more, finds it right away. Colin frags the Envy youngster going down there. Bizzle punishing him. Twiz also picking up Hysteria, but you have Dubs, somebody who is super high up on that leaderboard, now in control of Ultimate High and pressuring down towards Hogman. We have Bizzle in the top right, Enzo in the bottom right,
the Dynamite
also occupying the bush, and Dynamite going down towards the low ground. Say hello.
There's only going to be one baller left, and that will be courtesy of Blind, but Blind's going to get knocked out of that one. Hogman is going into a fight with Dubs up above, and then you have Bizzle and Enzo on the right side of your screen. And this fight up above is insane, but I do want everyone to focus their attention on what's going on over here on the right side, because Enzo's at that ultimate low ground. Bizzle, he's looking for the opportunity, finds a player in front of him. Is he going to be able to come out on top with this fight here? He does have that blue pump. One shot, that could be all the difference maker. That could be all he needs. He's going to edit this one out. He owns a lot of the real estate that's going to be around here, and is going to go outside of the storm to try and engage on this, and it's going to work out for him as he takes out that player. Well done by Bizzle. That's his 6-1.
And now we have a ghost story again. It is a ghost v ghost 1v1. I got chills. Too spooky for me. Who will close it out as Bizzle maintains circle control? But Enzo gets the better shot. But Bizzle trades it out, with the difference being the Storm Tick. 4 HP, not converting onto it. Bizzle takes home the victory out with the 6 eliminations. But also, I want to, whatever happened on the high ground, something absurd, because Hogman fell down all the way and got self-eliminated. And then Dubs, with no contestant, also slipped off. So either misplays, maybe a little bit of latency coming into play. Super unfortunate, but Bizzle capitalizing like he always does. We're going to jump on board now with Rampage and Damien and Vivid, who's also been absolutely climbing his way up the ladder.
Wow, what a conclusion to that game there. Just insanity across the board. Now we're into the 5th circle, so that is a circle that will be half in, half out. 30 players left in this lobby. And Vivid, a familiar name to a lot of Fortnite fans, competitive Fortnite fans. You see his clips all the time on Reddit. And Vivid showing everyone why he is one of the best. He's going to drop him right in there, but the player, wisely enough, gets out. But Vivid is going to make him pay. So that was great, because either the player would have fallen right into the trap, right into Vivid's hands, or, as we saw right there, right into an area where Vivid was going to be able to get the angle, because that player was caught off guard.
Yeah, was peeking for it right away, and he's known for doing that, whether it's from shooting and dropping those builds out or editing his own builds. We've seen him do that in the fall skirmish. It was a very amazing play. But jumping on board now with High Sky was one of the winners from the Blackheart. Uses the heavy step, punches right into the box. But can he convert? The other player now has disengaged 1 box over, disengaged 2 box over. High Sky still trying to find ownership of the wall. Gets it, gets through, but will he be able to convert on it? Yes! Graska going down the other half of the Graska and Daxor duo. He's been putting in work, but now dropped outside of the top 25.
That whole play started with the aggression from that heavy snipe. It is a wall buster, 1 shot, and that thing is gone, and no one will be able to have time to get in or to try and defend after it. But you get that 1 shot, that 1 opportunity. Back over to Vivid now, who's got 3 eliminations, 2 boogie bombs in case there's some pesky ballers that he wants to take care of, as well as that legendary AR, which he could put to good use.
Definitely seized everything he wanted from all of that loot right there, but we're going to jump right back on over to Vivid, as now he's using that little bit of the cone peak to try and get lay of the land. This is one thing we've talked about with Vivid in particular. If you want to learn awareness and competitive positioning and where to check your angles, go watch Vivid play. He does it all the time in all of his scrims, all of his arena games. Watch how he plays the game. He's always checking his angles as this rotation comes out, and this is huge because we're at 28 players left.
Couple players now falling in the action feed. Philly is going to be one that will fall, as well as Naker. That is 2 down to Vivid's hand, and will use that jump pad to just get out of dodge, play the edge of the storm, reposition, set up in the 1-by-1, maybe try and see if he can own more of the terrain with those builds. But he's going to land right on the